Today on Locked On Rockies, just like we all expected, the Colorado Rockies take down Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers, getting at least a series split and handling Shohei in a way that's been very rare during his time on the mound.
You are Locked On Rockies, your daily Colorado Rockies podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Rock on Rockies fans, welcome into the Locked On Rockies podcast for today, the 21st day of August in the year 2025. I'm your host of the Locked On Rockies podcast, Paul Holden, bringing you your daily Colorado Rockies talk right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, where you can find your team every day. And if your team is the Colorado Rockies, guess what? You are in the right spot, because that's what we do around here each and every day, free and streaming on your favorite streaming services and on the Locked On Rockies podcast. And the Rockies rocking Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers here, bouncing back after that 11-4 loss to an 8-3 victory. And the Rockies doing something that Shohei Ohtani is tying one of the worst outings in terms of hits allowed for Shohei Ohtani in his entire career. And it comes at the hand of the Colorado Rockies when Shohei makes his Coors Field pitching debut, something that was clearly one of the biggest storylines there of the night. And how about the young Colorado Rockies not only getting the win, but having a very impressive night. And not perfect, obviously not perfect. Still 2 errors, still some issues there. But we're also talking about a team that just, hey, when you're looking at the on paper side, the Rockies impressed in this game a big amount. So we're going to talk about that and dive into all the info here on today's episode of Locked On Rockies. Before we do that, this episode is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for 2 to any golf tournament in the U.S. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025. The Colorado Rockies rough up Shohei Ohtani. Here is what the AP recap says. Ohtani 0-1, gave up 5 earned runs in 4 innings. He allowed 9 hits, tying a career high. The reigning National League MVP also got hit on a right thigh by a 93-mile-per-hour line drive off the bat of Colorado's Orlando Arcia in the 4th inning that caused him to limp and grimace in pain. He stayed in the game and finished the inning. He also drew a walk in his at-bat in the 5th, but didn't return to the game when his turn came up in the 8th inning, which was pretty surprising. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts said after the game that the line drive hit Ohtani on the thigh and managed to avoid his knee in any on-bone contact. Roberts said that he was confident Ohtani would be in the lineup on Friday against San Diego after an already scheduled day off on Thursday. Okay. And I also want to read one more tweet here from Patrick Lyons as well, highlighting what the Rockies did in this ball game. Let's see here. Here we go. For the first time in over 2 years, July 14th, 2023, Shohei Ohtani suffers a loss as a pitcher, and it's to the 37-90 Colorado Rockies. That's the beauty of baseball right there. I mean, this is the what makes baseball so fun and so unique is that with all the games that you play, with every ballpark having its different environments, you can have moments like this. And when you're talking about a benchmark moment for these young Rockies, this means something to them. Yes, again, it's the team that's 37-90. They're 21-44 at home. You can look at the run differential. You can look at all the stuff. You can look at all the numbers that don't lie, the real reality surrounding the entirety of 2025 for the Colorado Rockies. But this was a team going into this series that had a 10-game losing streak to the Dodgers, had not beaten the Dodgers in 2025. This is a team that coming into this game had multiple losing streaks in multiple ways, home losing streaks, long losing streaks to the Dodgers. And when the Dodgers go up here, and this was a lineup that had the Dodgers thumpers in it, they didn't take a bunch of people out here. You know, I don't necessarily know if Conforto and Freeland are guys constantly getting starts. I know that the Dodgers have been dealing with injury issues here. But the Rockies went up against Shohei Ohtani, one of the game. I mean, when you're talking about one of the best, one of the biggest names in the game, not only did they go up against Shohei Ohtani, they handled business. They roughed him up. They got 9 hits. They made Shohei tie one of the highest amount of hits he's allowed in his career. This Rockies team, where they're at, it doesn't matter. This is an element that has highlighted that this team is not giving up and not giving into everything. As we keep talking about tests, as we keep talking about moments like this for the Rockies to show us something like this, where, show us that, hey, doesn't matter. We're not looking at just the record. We're going out there and trying to win every game. This is a prime example of that. And this is the young Rockies getting the job done. This is Hunter Goodman with 3 hits. I mean, every single person in the starting 9 for the Rockies getting hits, doing damage. This is Shohei freaking Ohtani. I mean, we are talking about, I mean, everybody and anybody thinking that this is just going to be the cakewalk of the cakewalk. And instead, the Rockies have now taken 2 of 4 of this series. They've not allowed the Dodgers to separate themselves in the National League West. And the Rockies have shown that they got a little something going right here. What does that mean in the grand scheme of things? Can they keep going down the line? We'll see. But right now, this Rockies team, this Rockies offense is in a better place. On the broadcast today, the Rockies mentioned that they're the 7th best team with runners in scoring position in terms of average here in the second half of the season. The Rockies are on the verge. If they can complete this win, it's not a series loss. The Dodgers did not come in town and just throttle and dominate you. In 2 out of 3 games now, you have won. And in game 3, you won handedly. You kicked the Dodgers' butt. You kicked the Dodgers' butt with Shohei Ohtani on the mound. And yes, you might listen to this and sounds like, hey, you're talking about this like it's the World Series or something like that. But in the scope and in the scale of this season, that's a young team that went up against a team that's hoping for the World Series with one of their best, with one of the best players in baseball. And they kicked butt. They kicked ass. That's what you can ask for. I mean, you can't ask for much more than what the Rockies did. 16 hits, 8 runs. That's efficiency right there. 6 for 15 with runners in scoring position. Shoot, they could have done even more damage there. If Tovar didn't strike out a couple of times, they could have done damage. Jordan Beck going perfect throughout there until picking up those strikeouts late. Warming Bernabel another hit. Mickey Moniak a couple of hits. Brenton Doyle continuing to drive in runs and be there a factor. Orlando Arcia being a guy that's had success against Shohei, keeping that going, keeping that on, being put in the lineup basically specifically for that reason. And Karros, I believe, having a tight back as well. But this is a very good win for the Colorado Rockies. This is a game in which this is one to be proud of. This wasn't one that you just scraped by. This wasn't one that you had the comeback magic. This wasn't one no, this was the Rockies setting the tone and going up against a great pitcher and handling business, getting the job done, being effective, scoring runs, not backing down from the challenge, saying, I don't care who it is. I don't care who's on the bump. And Warren Schaefer said this a lot in his press conferences, talking about we prepare like it's anybody else. But this team was prepared. This team played with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, with some energy today, because they knew that this was their moment to show off. And now the headlines get to be on ESPN. It's literally on ESPN and across the baseball world, obviously focusing on the fact that Shohei Ohtani took a line drive off the leg and was removed from the game, something that's clearly a big deal and something that we'll have to watch. But in those stories and in those headlines and in those leads, Ohtani rocked. Ohtani gives up this. Ohtani this. That's cool. That's a moment for these young Rockies to hang their hat on. And then on the flip side here, Tanner Gordon goes out there and he gets to say, I outdueled Ohtani at Coors Field. He came into my ballpark. You guys came into my ballpark and I handled business. I took down the Dodgers. I went toe-to-toe with Shohei Ohtani, and I outperformed him. I did a better job. I was more successful. I was the better pitcher than Shohei Ohtani tonight. That's a cool thing. It's a massive win for this Rockies team now as they now face the opportunity to get yet another home series win here in the second half of the season. We're talking about a Rockies team now that has really started improving its record at home here. We're talking about now a Rockies team that's looking at the opportunity to win, to be in a situation where they could be winning every series at home in the second half of the season outside of that, the Toronto sweep. That means when you're talking about this for the Rockies, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 series wins. Already doubling the series wins that you had going into the second half of the season, and already impressing the fact that you can go in and fight with the Dodgers. Go get it. And now for the finale, it's Kershaw Dolander. Another opportunity and another moment for the young Rockies to carve out a little bit of their narrative, to carve out a little bit more confidence for themselves, and to say, hey, these are the best guys. We're talking Ohtani, we're talking Kershaw, guys that have dominated and crushed the Colorado Rockies. If you can beat them in 2 games in a row, that's a big moral victory for the Colorado Rockies amidst the struggling season. But it does make you feel a little bit better and a little bit more confident about the guys. And that team continues to play with an energy and continues to play with a confidence that is great and has led to better and more winning baseball in this half of the season. All right, let's take a break here. Let's take a look at Tanner Gordon's night. Let's, of course, look ahead, look at all the other great stuff that's happened. Let's go through the box score and more here. Coming up next on today's episode of Locked On Rockies. Before we do that, though, got to tell you about the folks that help make this show possible, and that includes Monarch Money. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why there is Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings you your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or phone. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorizations of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. I don't know about you guys. Me, spreadsheets don't always get along. You can link your accounts to Monarch and immediately spot the subscriptions you're not even using or the things that really start adding up that eat into your bottom line. Plus, it makes it simple to review your finances with your partner, whether it be business or life partner. You can both see budgets, goals, and spending activity in one place. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONMLB. The Colorado Rockies here celebrating a nice victory against the Los Angeles Dodgers, hoping to take the day game, the matinee game, the final game of a homestand for the Rockies before they head out to Pittsburgh and Houston here. Really interesting couple of series there. See if Pittsburgh certainly going to want some revenge there after that wacky Coors Field series where the Rockies will see Skeens there. And this is an interesting thing listed there as the pitcher. Austin Gomber still listed as the pitcher currently. That is not going to happen with Austin Gomber being placed on the waiver wire here today. And that's something you really kind of feel for. And again, I will dive more into this and the impact here at a different point, probably more maybe the off season or something like that. But you can't ignore the fact that the Rockies, the last piece of the Nolan Arenado trade was just placed on waivers. And if you heard any of Gomber saying, he basically was saying he was lost. He just wasn't. This wasn't for him. You hope that it's time for a refresh somewhere new. Just didn't work out in Colorado. Wasn't going to work out going forward. Not like they were going to, like I said yesterday. But the Rockies, yes, putting Austin Gomber on the waiver wire here. Which, I mean, if you still think about if you're still ticked off about the Arenado trade, it ain't going to make you feel any better than that. And I just don't know if he I don't know I don't know what team might be interested right now. Maybe not at that money, maybe at a discount here as he's an unrestricted free agent. But this is from Jake Shapiro on Denver Sports. Gomber is still with the Rockies and was seen in the team's dugout on Wednesday during a game against the Dodgers. He has not been designated for assignment and remains with the Rockies through the waiver process. Outright waiver claims are irrevocable, so he changed teams within the next 48 hours if other teams place a claim. Gomber was shelled by Los Angeles on Tuesday. He allowed 7 earned runs across 3 innings, giving up 2 walks and 2 home runs while striking out just 2. The rough showing is in line with the disaster year the lefty has had. He missed 2.5 months battling shoulder discomfort, joined the rotation in mid-June, but hasn't had a single quality start in 12 outings. The opposition has gotten him for 36 earned runs across his last 38 innings after an okay start to his return from injury. I just feel like I'm a little bit lost out there right now. I don't feel like I have any confidence, conviction, really don't have like an identity of what I'm trying to do. Just trying to figure it out. It is what it is. Ah, man, it's just tough. Let's see, but just to finalize, I think here, the Rockies also got Mateo Gil, Tony Losi, and Jake Summers in the deal, none of whom played for the Rockies or ever reached the majors. And there is Eleris Montero, who's now in Japan after being one of the worst players in Major League Baseball during his time in purple. So not only did the Rockies trade their most talented player ever, who was beloved by fans because he was feuding with the GM for prospects that failed, a terrible hitter and a poor pitcher, they also attached $50 million to do it. Oh, and the GM quit a few weeks later anyway. This is all already known, but Wednesday's news means the trade and its ramifications from a player standpoint are almost over for the Rockies. That's the tough pill to swallow about the Gomber news. It's just, and the thing about the Arenado trade, and with the way it's panned out, is there will be no accountability from the front office. There will be no acknowledgement of this. There will be no reflection upon this. There will be no repentance for this. There will be nothing on the sake where the Rockies are going to own up to just how badly this was handled, how badly it was, the fact that they couldn't develop a single one of those prospects, how badly it wasn't that they couldn't get Gomber to be the guy that they wanted him to be. That is a failure on the organization. When you make that move, you have to be able to capitalize on that. And the Colorado Rockies certainly did not do that. They failed across the board. They failed miserably and will be notified and will be remembered as going out as one of the worst trades in baseball history. At least, I mean, for the Rockies, it will take a lot for them to make a worse trade than that one. But okay, I wasn't going to dive into that until later, but that's okay. Let's change the gears here, because again, for Gomber, for the guy, for the player, you can tell how much he's going through it. You can tell how much this is impacting him. You can tell how hard this is for him, the athlete, and for him as the person. So if a team does claim him and he can see greener pastures, then that'll be great for him. If not, the Rockies will, probably continue to start. He very well could be pitching against Skeens in Pittsburgh here if he doesn't get claimed. But let's flip to a pitcher that was successful against the Dodgers here, and Tanner Gordon going out there and having a wonderful day against the Los Angeles Dodgers. I mean, just crazy. I mean, when you're talking about a confidence booster here for you to go out and, like I say, go toe-to-toe with Shohei Ohtani and perform and be a Rocky starter that goes a little bit deeper in the game, lets the bullpen have a little bit more of breathing room, doing your job. And the only real downside to what you did was Teoscar Hernandez tagging just enough to get one out of the yard. 6 innings pitched. He throws 92 pitches, 60 of them for strikes. He only allows the 1 earned run off, 4 hits, gets 3 strikeouts and 1 walk. Super efficient. Herget comes in there, shuts the door there with a strikeout. Peralta comes in there with a couple of strikeouts. Wasn't the cleanest inning for Hill there in the end with things getting there, but a couple of bad breaks as well with the Rockies picking up 7 strikeouts. Now, 2 out of 3 times the Rockies in this series, 2 out of 3 games in this series, the Rockies have struck out the Dodgers. The Rockies pitching staff striking out more Dodgers pitchers or Dodgers batters than the Dodgers pitching staff striking out Rockies batters. And that combo is just, I mean, boom, it's led to 2 wins. It just shows you how important it is to not strike out. And for on the flip side, to be able to get strikeouts when you need to be able to get strikeouts. I mean, they are such a big part of the game. They are such a defining moment of each and every inning when you can get strikeouts in key situations to leave runners stranded, when you can get strikeouts, when you prevent your strikeouts and you're able to drive in your runners in scoring position and drive in runs and get hits and start getting things moving and getting the momentum and getting the offense flowing throughout a game at Coors Field. This is a key benchmark stat and a key benchmark issue that the Rockies have had tons of issues with here. So for them now to go up against the Dodgers in 2 out of 3 games at Coors Field here, where the Dodgers are coming off a sweep of the Padres, looking to really start taking things to that next gear at this point in the season, and for you to have 2 out of the 3 games where you succeed in an area that you have struggled greatly all season long, getting strikeouts as a pitching staff and preventing strikeouts as an offense, and you succeed in both of those. This is a win that has multiple layers to it and multiple elements to it that really just help and boost up boost up confidence, boost up what the Rockies were able to do, and feels good. You have outplayed the Dodgers in 2 out of 3 games, and you have an opportunity to take 3 out of 4 and win and have a very, very strong week against the National League West, which is something that has been so rare during these 100-loss seasons. And so you continue to inch closer and closer to avoiding officially that worst team in baseball record. As the Rockies' second half continues to show some moments where you can be impressed. And let's take a look at some of the impressive numbers from the Rockies offense here in the finale. And of course, we can't hype up the fact that this is a very interesting pitching matchup here for the finale at Coors Field. Let's do that coming up next. Before we do that, though, got to tell you about the folks that help make this show possible, and that includes 5 Hour Energy. Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5 Hour Energy Transfusion. This grape, ginger, and lime flavored shot brings the iconic taste of a golf course favorite to a non-alcoholic boost. Perfect for sinking birdies or making great memories with friends. It's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Whether you're out on the course or need just a little extra push to power through your day, 5 Hour Energy Transfusion delivers the clubhouse flavor you love without ever leaving the green. Maybe you need that boost for those early tee times or something to keep you going as that big heat there in the middle of the afternoon, and you're trying to win that crazy bet as you've gone hole for hole with your friends. Golf is all about good times with good people and good flavors. The grape ginger lime flavor of 5 Hour Energy Transfusion gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without leaving the course or chasing down the bev cart. Now you can amp up the fun even more. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for 2 to any golf tournament in the U.S. Tee up that trip. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entries. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025. Locked on Rockies here, wrapping things up here as we are getting ready for the Rockies finale now, and putting this one, as much as it was an exciting one, as much as it was a great win for the Colorado Rockies, got to put it in the rear view mirror and look ahead. But before we do that, we got to highlight the fact that the Rockies offense comes up big. Every single member of the Rockies starting 9 picking up a hit in this ballgame. Took Ezequiel Tovar a bit there, but multiple Rockies with multiple hit games. Tyler Freeman, 2 hits and an RBI off the top. Hunter Goodman, a 3-hit, 3 RBI day as he flexes in front of Will Smith a little bit there, saying, hey, buddy, don't forget, I'm out here having a great season too. I'm out here performing as well. And it's coming at the expense of your guy, Shohei Ohtani. Jordan Beck there, another 3-hit, another multi-hit game as he continues to find his comfort right there in the middle of the order. Still looking for maybe some pop and some slug here for him. He's looking for some extra base hits or maybe leave the yard a little bit more, looking for a little bit thump. But you're never going to complain with a 3-hit ball game. Even with the 2 strikeouts there at the end, you're still talking a 3-for-5 day at the yard with Shohei on the bump. Again, taking that all day. Warming Bernabel, a hit there as well. Mickey Moniak picking up a couple of hits. Brenton Doyle, a 2-hit game. His batting average is now up to 241. Remember where Brenton Doyle's batting average was at points in this season as he continues to grow, as he continues to bounce back and continues to impress here in the second half of the season. Still a long way to go and still some question marks for Brenton Doyle probably in the future going forward with him as well. But really loving to see this continued growth, this continued bounce back. And again, another moment in another situation where a Rockies player hasn't given up, hasn't given in, hasn't allowed everything about this season to overwhelm and overtake him as he continues to fight back and try to salvage this season statistically in the second half. Orlando Arcia, 2 RBI in this game as well. Really looking comfortable in the dish, really looking confident against Shohei Ohtani, and rewarding Warren Schaefer's decision to put him in the lineup there and giving his team an opportunity there in the bottom of the order. And then Ryan Ritter up there having a base knock as well. This is all important stuff here as you're talking about bouncing back after the Dodgers having, really great success against your pitching staff there in that second game. The Rockies are the one that are really doing the thump. The Rockies are the one making them look uncomfortable. And the Rockies also exposing a little bit that this Dodgers defense has some issues. This Dodgers defense, as Spilly even mentioned this on the broadcast as well, the Dodgers defense has not been impressive in this series. I mean, we've been frustrated with the Rockies, defense this season, certainly. But if you're Dodgers fans and you're watching how the ending of Game 1, and you're kind of just looking at some moments here where the Dodgers could have needed to come up clutch on defense in Game 3, and they just didn't. They just have not been able to execute and make these plays, and that's surprising to see. This is something that again. This is supposed to be this Dodgers team as much hype and as much everything. And again, their record is still great. They're still the top of the National League West. They're still the top dogs. They're still the team to beat. All of that is still true. But we've seen just a couple of moments and a couple of things here this year where baseball is a long, grueling season. So many different things happen. There are little weaknesses here. There are some areas here where the Dodgers haven't necessarily thrived in, and we'll see if teams are able to take advantage of that down the stretch here and in the postseason. And we'll see how they manage, throwing a lot of different arms, managing different injuries, who knows? And thank goodness Shohei's, again, we're not rooting for the Dodgers here, but Shohei being healthy and being ready to compete, that's good for the game of baseball. So that's a sigh of relief for them that they're feeling confident about that. But there's some worry, I'm sure, with Dodgers fans and within what's coming up, with the postseason for the Dodgers. It's very hard to repeat in baseball, and especially when you're talking about just how many things have to go right and how many things have to be have to go well for you to do that. So. All right, the Rockies now here in the series finale against the Dodgers, looking again to win. And boy, talk about just the storyline here. A Hall of Fame, no doubt, one of the greatest we've ever seen, Clayton Kershaw, someone that's dominated and handled the Rockies his whole time, going up against Chase Dollander, the young guy for the Rockies, trying to reestablish himself in the majors, trying to reestablish that confidence, trying to go up there. And another moment with a young Rockies team and led by a rookie pitcher to go up and go toe-to-toe with legends in the game here. If Chase is able to outduel Kershaw and the offense does their job like they did in Game 3, this is going to be a situation, I think, where the Rockies players will look at themselves and be able to say, we're major league ball players. We are here. We just beat the Dodgers in 3 out of 4 at home, and that includes starts from Kershaw and Shohei Ohtani. And I know Kershaw's an older version of himself, but still, these can be milestone moments for these guys, especially as they continue to develop and grow into these into these everyday major leaguers. If you're able to handle business, you're able to do it. You're able to defend your home territory, full with plenty of Dodgers fans in the crowd, even though the Rockies fans have been showing up in this series. But if Chase can outduel Clayton Kershaw and the Rockies can go back to back saying, Ohtani and Kershaw came into our house and we roughed them up and we hit them out of the ballpark and we knocked them out of the ball games. That's the type of good energy, the type of good boost that the Rockies can ride off of to continue to finish, have a strong finish to the month of August and ride this momentum into hopefully a strong finish in September. There's still a lot of work, a lot of questions, a lot of change still needs to come to the Colorado Rockies. But there's a little bit of momentum with this team right now, especially at home. And we'll see if they're able to carry that into the finale here as Chase Dollander, the possible future big name for the Rockies pitching staff, going up against the legend Clayton Kershaw in the finale here at Coors for the little day baseball in Denver. How are you feeling about the series? How are you feeling about things so far? Let me know in the Locked On Rockies YouTube comment section. But that is going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for making us your first listen of the day. We're free and streaming on your favorite streaming services and on the Locked On Rockies YouTube channel, where you can find us and drop those Rockies comments. For your second listen of the day, go check out Locked On MLB and Locked On MLB Game Night. Plus, we got you covered with Locked On Broncos, Avalanche, Nuggets, and Buffs if you need more Colorado sports coverage. Until next time, I'm Paul Holden saying so long from the Locked On Rockies podcast.